In today's video, it's all about responding to the comments that I've been getting regarding a website people want me to look into called Space Mining. Now, in the held for review, there's a couple of comments here I want to share with you. One YouTuber says, "Hey Robert, I lost 4,000 in BitConnect, on BitConnect. The tokens are freaking useless." No kidding, right? I ended up with 10% of what I put in. Anyway, jumped in and got the hash power at Crypterra. Thank you. Daily payouts are great, except that they take forever. That's true, right? Forever at Crypterra. I have another new mining company that I'd like you to vet and verify, please. These guys are cheaper than Crypterra, so I'm very skeptical. Check it out, please. Space Mining, and with a referral link. Another one. Hey Robert, maybe you can do a review on the Space Mining company. It's only 6 days old. Well, that was about 5 days ago. Is it a scam? It just seems too good to be true. And hey Robert, have you heard of this? It looks like, is it too good to be true? Space Mining. Now this is just a few of the many held for review, and also there's a lot more in the spam. And if you go on to Twitter and Facebook, you might see people talking about Space Mining. It's the new hype. Let me tell you, folks, Space Mining is a fraud. Okay, I'll tell you that, and I'm going to explain clearly how Space Mining, or why it is a fraud. Let's do it right now. So here we are at the Space Mining website at spacemining.io. It looks on the surface okay. It's kind of a very simple website. I would say maybe a bare bones, kind of a minimalist look. Let's see what their tagline is. Right here in the middle, we read, "Multiply your Bitcoin with us now." Yes, they're demanding, yes, multiply your Bitcoin with us now, folks. You don't want to do that, okay? You don't want to put any of your Bitcoin in this platform, because even though it says Space Mining, right? There's the tagline there. That's the name of their company or website. The word mining would indicate that they are actually doing some cloud mining, but that is farthest from the truth. This site is essentially what Sierra Hash was a few weeks back or a few months ago. It was a website that was telling you you're going to get forever hash power, and it was paying 10% a day. That site lasted roughly 19 days, so let's see. You have maybe a little bit of time left if it follows that same life cycle there. It's been active for 12 days, and it's got a lot of members already, which is pretty scary. 128,093 at the time of this video on Friday, January the 19th. And what else did they say about them? Well, it says that they have lots of experience. Lots of experience. Let me just read this to you. It says, "We have been mining Bitcoin for many years now. Since 2012, for that matter. That's over 5 years Bitcoin mining experience. And we would like to bring this knowledge to you by allowing you to use our services." Oh, how nice of them. You think after 5 years of mining experience that we would know about this company, that they'd be the experts? Why was Space Mining only registered just a few days ago? Well, maybe a little more than a few days ago, but let's see how long ago. Let's go to Who Is Lookup right now. The Who Is Lookup. I always like to go and check things out, and let me pop in spacemining.io and see what comes up. Okay, let's give Space Mining a little credit, just a little credit, for not having a private registration somewhere in Panama, the Seychelles Islands or something. But it's an open registration, and it's registered to someone by the name of Lewis Wright. More on Mr. Wright in a moment. It's the street is at 200 Aldergate Street, and it's in London. And just where is 200 Aldergate Street? It's actually a physical location. Let me go there now. It is it's kind of like this tower office complex, and there's a lot of companies in this office tower complex. On this website here, I've discovered that they're all the different residents of this office complex. As you notice, there are many, there are like dozens, if not hundreds, of limited liability corporations inhabiting that London office complex. Holdings groups, limited liabilities, you name it. But back on the Space Mining website, I want to show you something really interesting about who Mr. Lewis is. Let's scroll down a little lower here, a little lower, a little lower. Lewis Wright, there's his picture. What a handsome man. And there his rest of his staff. There is Lai Wang, the Chief Financial Officer, Daniel Rocha Santos, the lead developer, and of course Mr. Wright is the Chief Executive Officer. You're probably wondering, wow, that's amazing. They're putting their actual photos on their website. I mean, what scam website, would put their actual photos of themselves on there for all to see? It's got to be true. We've got to give them all of our Bitcoin money. Seriously, everybody. Seriously, everybody, give them all your Bitcoin right now because they got their photos on their website. Stop. Think about this. What is suspicious about these photographs here? You're probably thinking, oh, there's nothing suspicious, Crypto Robert. You're just too jaded. You don't trust anything. I'm like, well, that's not true because I've invested in my fair share of dubious companies online, okay? But there is just something very fishy about these photos because I do a lot of work in graphic design and building websites, and I'm very familiar with stock photography websites, and all of these photos kind of reminded me of something. So I did a Google image search, and you're going to like what I discovered. Maybe you won't like it, but let's find out what I discovered anyway. Doing a Google image search of Mr. Wright, we see that his image pops up a lot in the Google search. But they're all essentially the same photograph of Mr. Wright. Getty Images. Getty Images is one of the biggest stock photography websites that graphic designers, web designers, they go to when they're putting web projects together, and they're looking for essentially stock imagery. Nothing wrong with using stock imagery. But let's see if we can find Mr. Wright. Okay, let's scroll down a little bit. Finally, I found Mr. Wright on Getty Images. And from the looks of the prices and the small size of that photo on Space Miner, they probably opted for the extra small version at $50, if they even paid, that is, for these images. Anyway, so we can confidently say, and going back to Space Mining, that Lewis Wright, this is absolutely not Lewis Wright's photograph, okay? Which means that Lai Wang and Daniel Rocha Santos are also, these are not their actual photos. How do we know? Well, I did more Google image searches, and let's find out. Let's find Mr. Wang and Mr. Santos on Getty Images. Here's Mr. Lai Wang's photograph, but actually, according to this image description, Mr. Lai Wang is not even Chinese. He is a Japanese businessman. Well, that means if Mr. Lai Wang is a fraud, that means that the developer, Mr. Santos, is probably also a fraud too. Yeah, let's take a look at his photo as well in Getty Images. And there's our lead developer, Mr. Santos. So, yes, this is not Mr. Santos. That is not Mr. Lai. And that is definitely not Lewis Wright. So, all these images are a fraud. You have to ask yourself a question. Can I trust a website or a business that uses fake and fraudulent photos to impersonate non-existent people? Most likely the answer is obvious. No, you can't trust a website who does this. Sadly, however, a lot of people are choosing to trust Space Mining, and this trust is completely unearned. How many people are choosing to trust Space Mining with their Bitcoin? Scrolling up here, it says there are 128,787 members as of the recording of this video. That is a lot of people. They've given this company a lot of money in the last 12 days since it's been running and operational. Why are they doing that? Well, it's probably because of their very high and unrealistic return on investment. What do I mean? On the pricing plan page, it has this investment calculator. So for example, if you were to put in the amount of Bitcoin that is roughly equivalent to, say, $100 or so, 0.01. Now, in one day, that would give you 10%. So you would have about $10. Now, if a person says, okay, I want to see what I'm going to make in a year, 365, they're like, oh my goodness, I'm going to make 0.36 Bitcoin, which is roughly equivalent to about $4,000 at today's price of Bitcoin. Think about it, folks. A $100 investment they're promising you a 3,000. They're telling you 3,650%. There is absolutely no way that this company is going to be around in a year's time, let alone in just a few days from now. This unrealistic and fraudulent calculator is telling you that for $100, that space mining is going to make you around $4,000. No, folks, it is not true. It wasn't true for Sierra Hash because, again, they flamed out in a little over 3 weeks. It wasn't true for Cryptodelics, and there's a whole litany of websites that were just like space mining, promising these 10% daily returns only to have people lose a lot of money. Yes, you can make money in the short term. If you got in on day 1 or 2 and you put in, say, $100 or so, you would make back that 10%. You'd get that 10% a day and make your money back. But anybody putting money in this program now, it's absolutely, you're guaranteed to lose your Bitcoin. Don't get greedy, folks. This is not going to end well. I promise you, this is not going to end well. So avoid space mining at all costs whatsoever. I can't urge you enough. Avoid space mining. Invest at your own risk. If you really think that you're going to make 10% a day indefinitely on this website, then I have a proposition for you. If you still think space mining is a good idea, then I've got a bridge in Brooklyn I want to sell you. All you got to do is just send me 0.01 Bitcoin to my Bitcoin address showing up on the screen, okay? Seriously, folks, I've got a bridge in Brooklyn. If you want to buy it, send me that Bitcoin, okay? Okay, obviously I was joking there about the Brooklyn Bridge, but the point I'm trying to illustrate is just as how ridiculous it is for me to sell you the Brooklyn Bridge, it's just as ridiculous that a company is going to pay 10% a day indefinitely. It's really a terrible mindset that takes over people when they think that the reward is going to be so great that it's worth any kind of risk, because it's really not worth the risk. Think about it. How many companies have collapsed in this crypto space already? Companies that I had money in, for example. I had money in BitConnect, gone with that announcement this week. I was involved in Chain Group, also gone. I was involved in many companies that are no longer operating any longer. For example, I was testing the waters out in Laser Online, gone. I was testing the waters out in Cryptodelics, gone. What's the commonality of all of these companies? All of them were offering very high rates of return, an unrealistic high rate of return. And when these companies are not based on financial reality, but in most cases based on a pyramid structure, multi-level marketing structure, nothing against multi-level marketing per se, but when you combine a Ponzi scheme with multi-level marketing, you have a very dangerous platform and the potential for a lot of people to lose a lot of money. There's a lot of people crying this week over BitConnect, and I lost money. I got rid of those tokens. I no longer want those useless BitConnect tokens any longer. But we need to educate ourselves in this space. Take the time to stop and think. If something looks a little too good to be true, it probably is. And sometimes there is a tendency to lump every company together. There is a big difference, folks, between a poorly run company that has horrible customer service and yet is providing a service than a company like Space Mining or other companies that have, like Sierra Hash and others that have completely scammed out. So it requires a little bit of discernment, a little more homework, and sometimes doing a quick Google image search. Are the people on the website actual real people? Obviously, we've proven that this site is a complete lie and a fabrication. Of course, they are actually paying people money, but it's money, the money that is coming in is going out. So as long as the money is greater, the inflow is greater than the outflow, these websites will be okay. But as soon as they reach a certain point where the money is actually greater, the amount of money going out, the amount of Bitcoin going out than coming in, then these companies will fold up. I don't know how long or how much time Space Mining has. I would say probably at most maybe 7-8 days, or probably a lot less. But I certainly don't want anyone to get the idea of putting any money into this in the first place. Bad idea, folks. Well, that's it for now. Occasionally, I'm going to do these scam alert videos only because people have been asking about this particular website for a while now, and I've just gotten around to it. I'm not going to be doing a scam alert video for every single website. That's all I would be doing literally every day, would be doing scam alert videos. Just hopefully we've learned a little bit how to do a little bit of due diligence and figuring out and sniffing out a real legitimate opportunity from a fraudulent opportunity. That's all. Take care, folks. And if you like what you've learned, please click the like button. If you don't like it, click dislike. If you have money in space mining and you feel like you're going to lose money, sure, go right ahead and click the dislike button. If you want to catch all of my videos when they come out, then please click the subscribe button below so you'll never miss a Crypto Robert video. That's all for now. Take care, folks, and be careful with your Bitcoin. Stay safe, folks. All right. So long.